Today we're going to do even more factoring, but this time we're going to make it a little more complicated. So, for example, we have 4x squared plus 12x plus 5. Because last time we didn't have a coefficient in front, we just had x squared. This time we have this 4. Before you even try to factor, you need to look and make sure you can't take anything out of this equation. You can't factor anything big out, which you cannot. And I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and draw this square using this square method. And we're going to put the 4x squared here and the 5 here. So the 4x squared and the 5. Now we're going to multiply those two together to get 20, the 4 times the 5. And we need to think, how can we get a positive 20 but get 12x? So we can have 1 and 20. We can have 2 and 10 and 4 and 5. So 2 and 10 add up to a positive 12. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put 2 here and 10 here. But we need to remember to put an x. 4x squared, 2x, 10x, and 5. Now we're going to look and see what can we factor out from these rows. So here, 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 and here. I'll grab a different color. So from 10x and 5, we can factor out just the number 5. From 4x squared and 2x, we can factor out a 2 and 1x. From 4x squared and 10x, so going this direction, we can factor out another 2 and an x. And from 2x and 5, we can't factor out anything, so I'm going to put a 1, because you can always take a 1. So our answer will be 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 5. That's what it looks like when we factor it. Now if it asks us to solve or to find the x-intercepts, we're going to solve for x on both of these. We're going to write 2x plus 1 equals 0 and 2x plus 5 equals 0. Minus 1. X equals negative 1/2. Or, and I should say, and x equals negative 5/2. Now, if you want to verify what we just did, it's quite easy. We can use a calculator. We're just going to put in 4x squared plus 12x. And I suggest you verify in this method as well. That way on a test, you're for sure getting the right answer. You graph it. And we're going to find the zeros. Remember what I said. The x equal to's, those are the zeros. So let's calculate a 0. Left bound. We have to go to the left of the x-axis. So here, go to the right of that 0. And it's going to say negative 2.5. Okay, that's this answer. Let's calculate the other 0. So left bound, we're going to go here. Right bound, we're going to go here, which is negative 0.5, which is what we thought. So we know we got the right answer. We know that we factored correctly, that this is the correct factor, and this is the correct answer. Alright, I've got one more example for you. 6x squared plus 40x minus 14. The first thing I'm going to do is look, can I factor something out from 6, 40, and 14? And the answer is yes. I can take a 2 out. So 2 times 3x squared plus 40x, plus 20x minus 7. And look, can I take anything else out? I cannot, so I'm going to use this to factor. We're going to draw this box. Put a 3x squared here and a negative 7 here. And I'm going to look, what's 3 times negative 7? It's negative 21. And I'm going to find the factors of negative 21 that'll add to give a positive 20. So we have negative 1, 20, or negative 1 and 21, positive 1 and negative 21, negative 3 and 7, and 3 and negative 7. And I'm going to look. Do any of those add up to 20? Okay, these ones do. Negative 1 and 21 does. So I'm going to write those in my box. I'm going to put 21 and negative 1. But do not forget to include, using this method, I mean it's a good method, but you have to remember to put an x. It's just how this method works. You have to remember to put that x, or else it's not going to work. And we're going to look. Is there something we can take out of those rows? So, can we take something from negative 1 and negative 7? We can take a negative 1 out. Can I take something from 3x squared and 21x? We can take 3x. Okay, 3x squared and negative 1x. We can take out, I think, just an x. And 21x and negative 7. We can take out a 7. We can't take out a negative 7 because the 21's not negative. We just take out a 7. And this is what we get. We have 3x minus 1 times x plus 7. That's, if it says factor it completely, this is, you're done here. And of course this 2 should be out front, but I don't really care about that. If it says find the x-intercepts or solve it, then you have to do this extra step and say 3x minus 1 equals 0. X is equal to 1/3. And x plus 7 equals 0. X equals minus 7. Okay, to check your answers, if x equals 1/3 and x equals negative 7, you have a couple choices. The first thing is you can plug it into your calculator and check it out, so let's go ahead and try that one. We're going to do 6x squared plus 40x minus 14. We'll graph it. If it doesn't give you what you want, like if you see this, you're going to hit zoom standard. That's where you always start, is standard, and then zoom fit. And zoom fit should give you the graph you want. Now we can second calculate the zeros. So left bound, okay, somewhere here. Right bound, somewhere over here. It says 0.333, that's what we got with this first one, 1/3. Second calculate the other zero. Alright, it's really hard to see, but so maybe we should zoom out a little bit. Alright, so the second zero, we want to go to the left. Second calculate. Left. 0. Go to the right. And it's going to say negative 7. So that's what we expected. And you saw how much I had to deal with the calculator here just to like get a good picture of what I'm looking at. And which is, you really need to get in the habit of doing that. You can play with zoom however much you want. You can change the window however much you want. You just need to get to a point where you can find the answer. Of course, the second way to check your answers would just be take them and try them out in this equation. So try out negative 7. Put a negative 7 here and a negative 7 here. Will it equal 0? Put a 1/3 here. Put a 1/3 here. Will it equal 0? Both of those should work. Okay, I need to show you one more example, just really quick. I know this video is getting kind of long. 9x squared minus 1. Now this is a very special case. It's the difference of two squares. It's 9x squared and negative 1. Those are two squares. So we're going to draw our box and put 9x squared and negative 1. Multiply those together to get negative 9. We're going to say we can use negative 1 and 9 and negative 3 and 3. Now this is what we want, because if you notice, negative 3 and 3, they add up to 0, and there's no middle term here, which is exactly what we want. So negative 3 with that x, 3x, factor out to the side. Okay, here we can't take out anything, just a 1. Here we can take out 3x, and negative 1. So we have 3x minus 1 and 3x plus 1. Like I said in the last lesson, difference of squares. Subtracting the first one, adding the second one. And if we need to, we can find the zeros. We can find those x-intercepts as well.